Hey again, it's Liz and Matt, and what we wanted to cover today was a really interesting topic that keeps coming up, which I keep getting asked about, which is talking about, do passive income websites work for introverts? And I think this keeps coming up because there is a lot of programs and things out there at the moment teaching you how to be the expert in your field, how to create courses, how to do all that sort of stuff. Online, yep. And I think for a lot of people, it's a little bit intimidating to think that you're going to be out there, you're going to be the face of the business, you've got to get on Instagram and YouTube, and you've got to...
Social media, Facebook.
And there's a lot of work to it, obviously, like creating all those funnels and all the stuff that goes with that. And I had a couple of people actually ask me who were doing something similar, saying, if we do website buying, is that I'm more introverted. I don't want to be the face of the business.
Yeah, can I be anonymous?
Yeah, can I be anonymous?
People say, look, we've got a lot of people, students who are in the military and in quite high positions, and they will come on and say, look, I really want to do this, but I can't, for obvious reasons, be showing my name publicly that I own a pet training website or a website on how to raise ferrets or something. The answer is yes, you can do. So first big thing to realize when you're online, it's not about being anonymous as such or being hidden or anything. You need to understand absolutely everything is tracked. But to the public, just like, with book publishers, you can do everything under a pseudonym name, like a pen name. It's very easy. It's perfectly legal to do it. It's perfectly okay to do it. And you'll find a lot of websites are done under pseudonym names. So...
And in a lot of cases too, you actually don't even need, there doesn't need to be a face to the business.
That's true.
And a lot of the sort of websites that we buy, they don't need a personality behind them because they are reviewing, they're focusing on products or they're focusing on a topic and giving answers to a topic. So they actually don't need a personality to be associated with them. And that's partly why we buy them, because we don't want to be, our range of websites is across a huge amount of topics and we couldn't put our name to all those different things. So yes, there are, and we want to go through today 3 really cool strategies that you can use if you're an introvert to be able to make some really good money online without having to be the face of the business. Now, the first one of them, and probably the simplest and the most cost effective. So if you don't have a lot of money to start, the most cost effective way to do it is to actually build some websites for yourself. And that's usually the thing that we get all our students to start with, is to understand how websites work, build some portfolio, we call them portfolio websites, for themselves, which are monetized with advertising or with affiliate income, referral program income. And that means that all they need to do is pick a topic. It could be, dog training. It could be, the pet niche is awesome. That we've got
health
students with websites about electric bikes and with toasters and I don't know, everything, like anything, any product basically you could make a website about.
They review
these
products.
Or potentially websites around topics. So there's 1,000,001 topics that you can choose. And so what that means is you can put together a portfolio for yourself. It costs, if you do it yourself, it costs $0. It doesn't cost any money. It just costs your time. Well, because for hosting maybe, but that's it. Like maybe $10, $15 a month for hosting your websites, and then the rest is up to you. So I think there's a lot of leverage in that.
There is, and it's a learning experience, and so you get to earn while you learn. But it's basically your time is your learning experience, and that's and maybe a bit of cost on like getting a few articles written, $10, $20 an article.
Yeah. The second strategy, which is one of our favorite strategies, and this is the one we do all the time, is if you want to shortcut that building phase, and I'm impatient, I like buying the cash flow straight away.
And definitely not an introvert. Isn't that what we're talking about here?
I'm not an introvert, but I don't need to be seen on all my websites. I'm not the face of all our websites. So so you can buy a website. So you can go to sites like Flipper and Empire Flippers and FE International. There's a lot of brokerages coming up now where you can buy websites that already exist and already making money, and you just buy that whole money-making system and then you own it. And as soon as you buy that that system and that website, you get to own the cash flow as well. So we buy these assets, we renovate them just like you would a property, and then we keep them for the cash flow. Now, those websites, like we said for the last strategy too, you don't need to be the public face at all. Nobody ever knows that who you are or what your job is, your second job or anything like that. So you can do this relatively anonymously or sort of in the background. So if you're an introvert, it's perfect.
So don't use it as an excuse. I know, like for me, I'm a recovering introvert,
Yeah.
So it's never been your problem, but because you're an extrovert. But for me, when I was very shy as a child, so I know what it's like if you are an introvert. And I find some introverts in our travels as business advisors and mentors over the years too, I've noticed with introverts, they can use it as an excuse, and it's a very valid excuse, by the way, to avoid doing what appears to be scary things. But typically in life, it's the scary things that make you the most money.
Yeah.
And so it would be a real shame here if you're thinking, well, I don't want to be buying websites because I'm an introvert and I've got to be out there in the public. I guess that's what we're trying to smash that myth for you right now. Is the good news is with websites, you don't have to be a public face, so you can't now. You don't have to let you can't let yourself off the hook now, can you? Because you can't be saying, well, because I'm an introvert, I can't be involved with online businesses. It's actually the opposite. But it is also just a very valid observation, isn't it? We've both observed this with introverts. You can use being an introvert as an excuse sometimes for not doing those uncomfortable things. And our experience, especially for me as an ex-introvert, I now realise when I look back over my life, it's the uncomfortable stuff that I've done, especially in business, that's made me the most money long term. So I know we went off a little bit there,
good,
but
that's
and
important.
I would like to say too, I think being online has actually helped me a lot in business because I was always good in business one-on-one in sales, like when we had manufacturing businesses and selling multi-million-dollar businesses to private equity firms and stuff. To me, that was actually pretty easy because I was one-on-one. The minute I go out to a crowd, it was really very different situation. If I got to speak to more than 5 people at once, I just freak out. So being online, though, when I came online and started buying website businesses, I suddenly realised, wow, I've got to get these website businesses out to as many eyeballs as possible. I've got to reach these things out to millions of people or tens of thousands across the world. That's a pretty scary proposition. Then I realised, I'm totally anonymous.
Nobody knows.
They don't know me. I don't speak to a single customer. They've got no idea who owns this website. It's just got advertising blocks on it. That's it. That's all there is to it. And it's like, cool. I can be totally anonymous, dealing with tens of thousands of people across the globe. They never ever meet me. They don't even know we're based here in Australia. Most of our sites are in America. So it was really cool. A big eye opener. It's kind of like a light bulb moment. It's go, wow, I can suddenly make lots of money off dealing with thousands and tens of thousands of people. Awesome. Pretty impressive stuff.
There you go. So that's strategy number 2, is to buy them, renovate them, and keep them for the cash flow. So the third option is another one that we also do, and a lot of our students do, which is to still buy and renovate, but then with the intention of reselling. So some people call that website flipping. We don't tend to do that. We usually, when we invest in a website, we're looking to invest in it for the long term. But there's been plenty of times throughout our journey where we've decided, actually, we'll sell that one and we'll roll the cash into some other deal. And so we've done a buy, renovate, and sell. And actually, Nathan and Alexa did that. We've got a good, we'll put a link to Nathan and Alexa's story as well, because they did that really, really well. And a lot of our students do that, especially when they're starting out. So again, that means you can get into any topic, into any niche. Nobody knows who you are. Matt, you're a lovely lady on
in certain niches, I have a female pen name online. Actually, it makes me think of another student who's done this really well is Mark and Silvia.
Oh yeah, so I'll put a link to those guys.
Yeah, Mark also, I'm sure Mark actually does use his name online as
well.
On
some of them, yeah.
On some of his sites. On other sites, he uses a pen name. Yeah. But he's freed up his job now, and I would suggest Mark's a bit of an introvert as well, like me. Doesn't really want to be out there in front of tens of thousands of people, but online He's built this whole empire through buying and selling passive websites, and you want to check out his interview and see what he's done.
Yeah. So that's the other strategy, is to actually just buy and renovate, and then with the intention of selling for a higher price. And the really good thing about that strategy is, especially if you're starting with not a lot of money, is that you can buy and renovate, or if you want to start small, and we recommend this because we're pretty risk adverse, we like to be able to buy and renovate, and you can sell, and then that bank is there for you. That's kind of free and clear. So you can then invest that back into the market, back into another website, and you can build your bank up from there. So that's a really good strategy. And actually Joe Burrill did that as well. So if you want to, we'll put a link to Joe's interview as well, because he did that awesome. He was a clerk, and again, he's not a particularly extroverted person, as you'll hear in the interview. He's a lovely guy, but not necessarily someone who's out there.
No, and he's made this his life, buying and selling websites. Now, the other thing, I'm going to jump right
He's
back.
almost hit 2 million in website deals now.
Sales, yeah.
So.
As an introvert, that's pretty
introvert,
impressive.
That's
so
really
wait till, and you'll see in the interview how Joe is an introvert.
Yeah.
The other interesting one for us introverts is check out our interview with Mark and Chris, who did your first strategy, which is building websites.
Yes.
So we'll put a link to that one in the video as well. So you can go and see these legendary introverts making big money online, and might get you changing your what's achievable out there.
Yeah, so hopefully we've inspired you. So if you are a bit introverted and a bit worried about doing the kind of, expert authority strategy, and you don't really want to put yourself out there to earn some money online, check out this way of doing it, because this way you can be in the background, you can be an absolute introvert, make a whole lot.
Still make heaps of money.
Okay,
online.
cool. And we'll put lots of links for you so you can watch those stories.